Okay, we're now recording and starting the week 3 discussion. So one thing I didn't do for week 1, which I want to do, I guess now, or sorry, week 2, that I'll go ahead and do now for week 3 is we should all introduce ourselves at least. I forgot to do that. I'm sorry. So I'll start. I'm Kenneth. I am 33. I live in Texas, and I am majoring in organizational leadership, minoring in history, and I have 1 semester left. I'm almost through. So I work currently for a large insurance company, and I'm a team lead for a team of analysts, and I have a background in reporting analytics and project management. So that's what I've done for the last 10, 12 years, and that's my background.
Nice.
Awesome. My name's Mike. I'm 28. I live in Maryland, right outside of DC. Currently, I work as a store manager for Starbucks. And again, I appreciate your guys' flexibility last week with if somebody calls out and I can't find coverage, I kind of have to go in last moment. I have a daughter. I have a 2-year-old and a 9-month-old. And I'm also majoring in organizational leadership. I'm technically a senior. I take about one.
Okay. I'm Nikki. Oh, sorry. Sorry. No, sorry. There's like so many pauses on my end. I'm like, I don't know if I should say something or. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. All right. I'm Nikki. I'm 29 from Southern California. I am currently a assistant project manager for a large consulting engineering firm that focuses in transportation contracts. Basically, we work with government contracts on building roads, doing rideshare programs, anything that's going to involve transportation infrastructure or transit. I currently am finishing my degree in organizational leadership. I'll be done this December, where I hope to move into full-on project operations and project management, and also move into the public sector. I'm currently in private sector work.
Nice. So I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Noelle. I live in Mesa, Arizona. Married. I have 2 children also. Currently, right now, I'm in California, in Los Angeles. I'm going to the beach. I'm here sitting in my car, so I apologize if I'm breaking up. But I am currently on my last year of school also. I am studying communications. I take my law school admissions test here in October, so hopefully I can get in next fall. But yeah, those are the goals now. Currently, I'm just working part-time at a restaurant. I used to work in a billing department until I had my 2nd baby, and then I switched to more part-time work. But yeah.
All right, I am Mandy. I live in Arizona. I am currently a manager of a fairly big preschool. Let's see, I'm married. I have 2 kids. My daughter is 14 and my son is 12. My background, as far as I've been a teacher for a preschool, moved up into management, and before that, kind of the medical profession. I worked in the ER, I've worked in the peds ICU, and I was also a paramedic for a while. So I've kind of been all over the place, but I'm right now studying communications, and I should graduate next spring.
Awesome. Sounds like we're all kind of close to being done with this for the most part. Good. All right. Well, we can go ahead and now that we got that out of the way, move on to the discussion. So this week we are supposed to focus on various leadership approaches and perspectives or approach that make the most sense to us. Now, I'll start. For me, I think that when it comes to like a leadership style or approach, I tend to be more of a democratic leader. I'm not very authoritarian at all. I like to take everyone's input, do what works best for everybody. I think most people are probably that way, at least if you can be. I think there are some there are some environments where you really can't operate that way, but most of the environments I've been in and that I've led in have been in a more corporate environment where there's like right now we have a very large team of 150 people, so we have quite a lot of people, and you kind of have to be. Not only do we have a lot of people, but they're all extremely tenured. They've been there for way longer than I have. So that democratic style and approach is what works best. Trying to take everyone's thoughts and opinions into mind when possible. I mean, obviously you still have to do what's best for the business, but when possible, I like to appease as many people as I can. And while also doing what's best for the business. So that would be my favorite approach. I'm not really big into authoritarian type leadership at all. I don't think that you get a lot of respect that way. But others, and in some businesses, that's necessary. So I don't hold it against anyone who does have to operate that way. It's just not my style.
Right. I would say that I'm pretty similar in that, currently I'm in a manager position, so I do have a lot of, my big thing is I really like open communication between me and my team. What I like to do is like what you're saying, I like to include them in decision making, because at the end of the day, like I can't be in my store at all times. I can't see everything that goes on, so it's important for me to, include them in the decision making, and I can see what they're seeing when I'm not here. But at the same time, I do work for a large corporation that has some very clear, black and white guidelines that I do have to hold people to. So it makes it kind of interesting. While I do have a little bit of leeway in my decision making, a lot of it is very clear direction on what I'm supposed to be doing. Having said that, I think that the most approach in the tech was probably the transformational approach. I think it's also the hardest one to actually achieve. Because with the transformational approach, you are actually going in and making a change in somebody. So it's not just telling them, directing them what to do. It's actually allowing them to take on a leadership role. And currently, that's kind of what I'm doing. I just took over a new store that's had a lot of opportunities. So right now, I'm trying to kind of empower the shift team that I have under me. So a lot of the stuff in the transformational approach, as I was reading, is things that I thought were very helpful, and I plan on kind of implementing moving forward.
Okay, I'll go ahead. So I kind of am also transformational in a way, but just kind of looking into our reading this week, I would say more in the form of creative is my approach. Basically, I would say that just my experience with leadership and kind of running teams, we do a lot of marketing and a lot of campaigns where we have people from different cultures, different ideas, different perspectives. And when I've led those efforts, I've always tried to look for new innovative ideas that would work with different people, or hear ideas from other people that may reach out to different demographics and different people may not think of from old ways. So I would say I'm one of those that's really open as a leader to hearing different ideas and new ideas, and kind of learning to apply new things, how what work, as opposed to just kind of sticking to the way things have always been.
Nice. So for me, like, in terms of leadership, I enjoy the democratic leadership approach. I worked for a company where we were encouraged to brainstorm ideas, and whenever we had one that the company used, we were rewarded for them with gift cards or like a pay raise. And so I think that with that type of leadership, it helps individuals to expand their knowledge and to try to build because their opinions matter. And so I really like that type of leadership. Also, going to what the textbook says, it uses punishment as a last resort. I also appreciate that also because it gives you time to correct your mistakes, and it gives you some one-on-one time communication with your leader to try to improve in various ways, and also to set goals. So we meet quotas, and in doing so we get rewarded, or we get like an email that basically praises us, which is very uplifting to a follower or an individual. The other one that I liked is that it makes for groups that more, because when you're in a setting where you're sharing ideas, sometimes your ideas won't correspond with another individual, and I enjoy that the leader can collaborate them and take good pieces out of both, and you just pull through as a team.
All right, so probably agreeing with everybody else here. Democratic style, definitely. I prefer to be in the middle of things, talking to trying to figure out what we can do together to make the organization better. But I was also really interested in the transformational leadership idea. And I think that kind of goes back to my medical background, because I like being the person to focus on the needs of the individual, to help them find their motivation, help them find where they want to go, and then be able to get them there. I think that's a pretty quick explanation there.
Well, that was good. I think that we all kind of seem to operate from somewhat of the same position. I don't know, like I said, in terms of like authoritarian leadership, I think there are environments where that's necessary, and that could be more production defined environments, or things like military, stuff like that, where it is appropriate to have that leadership style. I just don't see it very much in corporate environments, really. So it does exist, but I just have never really responded well. I mean, you see it in corporate environments, but I don't think those people tend to do very well. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and just stop the recording in 1 second. Give me a second. I'm stopping it now.